Good morning, folks. I just been driving around just in the very beginning of KI trying to find a good crossing area. And I drove all the way into this road quite a ways and then turned back around and come out. And this is an area where it's like a cedar swamp down, and this is a lowland on this right-hand side. There's higher ground up on the left, and they cross over into that swamp. And it's getting to be about that time, close to the end of November. So I think they'll be coming this way more. This is the area where I shot my doe last year. Not the exact spot, but the area. So I'm hoping that maybe something will cross the road here coming into there. There's definitely tracks. I got tracks right in front of the truck going down the side of the road. They're older, and when the snow is newer. But we'll see what happens. But let me show you something else I got here. Watch this. I've got that lever. Got the lever fixed on my truck. Got the new piece in, and I left the lever on a heater for a while to heat up the plastic, make sure it was not going to be brittle. And we had a friend of ours come over. He works on vehicles a lot and stuff, and I showed him the whole situation, and he went over there and popped it right on. So, the other one, I think, on another buddy of mine, I showed him the crack and stuff from the other new one that broke, and it looks like it's a clean shear right off. So he said that might have had a hairline fracture in it or something prior to when I got it. So you wouldn't see that because just took a little tap like this, and it snapped. So there was something wrong with that one. So the lever's back on. I got a new lever, and I can recline now. So that's going to help me be a lot more comfortable than have to be stuck in one position the whole time. But anyway, about that, I'm using the Browning X-Bolt 270 Winchester again, and I'm observing this area right here, and I'll show you what I got here. Okay, the first corner right down below me, and then the second corner at the left. You got a little straight stretch with a long corner there. That's where a lot of the tracks were coming from the left and right, obviously going into the swamp on the right-hand side down here. See a lot of cedar and stuff in there, cedar swamp. So we'll see what happens. See a few other vehicles in this road. I don't normally like to hunt this road this time of year because there's just a lot of people here. You can see the road, it's been used quite a bit. It's just the deer tracks. Good sized tracks. Yeah, but this road, because it's so close to the tar road, it gets used quite a bit. But this is Monday. I figured maybe there won't be quite as many people in here because it's Monday. But we shall see. You can see the high spot here, and it drops right down to the swamp there. This is on my right hand side of the truck. It's all cedar swamp in there. That's where I'm watching. You can hear the big train out there near Brownville Junction. See what happens here. I just did a scent check with the wind, and the wind's blowing this way, so it's perfect for down there. I don't have any scent out, and I haven't run a grunt call or bleak call. I don't know if I'm going to do that today or not. But looking pretty good so far. I just want to let you guys know I have a little complaint again about YouTube. I've been keeping an eye on my estimated revenue from them, and it's been doing really good. So I really appreciate everybody who's been donating, anybody who's been watching it, and all my new subscribers. I really appreciate that. I just got paid today from YouTube, and they only sent me about, I don't know, a third of what the estimated revenue is that's said in my account. So I don't know what the hell is up with that. Usually every time I see my estimated revenue before I get paid, I look a couple of days before, and usually when I get paid, it's usually actually a little bit more than the estimated revenue. For some reason this time, it's nowhere near what the estimated revenue is. And I've been showing you, because it's hunting season, I got a lot more subscribers now. I got a lot more people viewing the channel, a lot of comments, and that all is part of how you get paid. And I don't know what the hell is going on. It's very frustrating because I intended to use that money, some of that money, for part of my property taxes, because I've taken some money out of the property taxes to be able to hunt. So I don't know. YouTube finding every way they possibly can to screw people. It seems to be. I mean, if something else changes, I get another check, I will let you know and apologize to them. But between my friends not being able to see all the new videos, most people have said they are able to, but a couple of people have said they can see old videos, but they can't see any new ones. So I don't know what's up with that. YouTube is just, I don't know what the hell's going on. It's just very frustrating because I work really hard to do this. Really hard. And spend a lot more money than I ever make trying to do this. Trying to make something, and it's getting to be a pain. I mean, honestly, it's very frustrating. I don't know. Well, I'll show you what I got out here anyway. Been a nice sunny day so far. Definitely feels like it's warming up. Haven't had a vehicle drive by, so that was good so far. I know I think there's one behind me, and I think there's one or two in front of me. Just a slight breeze, and the breeze was going this way, so not affecting down here at all for me. Haven't seen anything yet. Just squirrels. Just giving it a shot. Hoping that something come out here. Usually, I think it's just better out here. End of the season, which is this week is the end of the season, honestly, and then muzzleloader season for the next 2 weeks. And you only be able to hunt one of those 2 weeks out here, and then I'd have to find a place in zone 17 to hunt. That's the closest zone that I can hunt that you're allowed to hunt with a muzzleloader. So hopefully it doesn't come to that, but the last few years it has. So we'll see. I was hoping my brother would get a deer, or Jameson. Jameson shot at one, but it was right at the end of daylight, and they went and tried to see where it was, and they couldn't find out, so they backed out and went in the next morning, which is Sunday, and they couldn't find blood, hair, or anything, so he just flat out missed it. So my brother did some shooting on Sunday with his rifle, and it was shooting off a little bit, and he thinks the scope is kaput somehow, so he took the scope right off his rifle. Jameson will use Keith's 30-06 Browning bar for the rest of the season when they do go hunting. And Keith's going to order Jameson a new scope for his, he has a BLR Browning 308 lever action that he's going to buy a new scope for him for Christmas and put that on a rifle and get that dialed in again. He thinks there's something wrong with that scope because it was shooting one spot, one shot, then it would shoot 2 or 3 inches off at another, and they tightened down everything. They went through all of the bases and the rings and everything, and it was still not shooting right. So I'm assuming it was a scope. It's an older Vortex. And I know back 4 or 5 years ago, maybe somewhere around there, Vortex was having some quality control issues with their scopes, and that may be what the issue was. I mean, this gun was shooting well. He got his moose with it and everything, so. But then all of a sudden, it just started not grouping the way it should. It was just flinging bullets all over the place, so maybe she died on him, so we'll see how it goes. I have a Vortex on my my muzzleloader that I've had on there for quite a while, and that was an older Vortex. The scope's been fine. I've not had a problem with it so far, so I like that one. I ain't complaining about it. It does just what I want on my muzzleloader. 100 yards is about all I want to shoot with that anyway, so I've shot in a couple of doe boat roughly that range. So, no matter who makes a scope, eventually something will go wrong with one of them. And Vortex has an excellent warranty, lifetime warranty. So they back up everything that they have. So I wouldn't complain about it. That's why I ordered my laser rangefinder from them instead of have a Leopold. But I contacted Leopold, told him about the rangefinder because it still works. The problem is the reticle's fading on it. It's like it's coming unglued from something, so you can barely catch part of the reticle anymore to do your ranging. And the same thing with your LCD screen. It's very dim. Even with brand new batteries in it, it was just, you can tell that the screen's getting screwed up somehow. And Leopold has no warranty at all on it, and pretty much saying sorry, thanks for your money, and go buy another one from us, which I'm not doing. If they're going to treat you like that with everybody else having all these warranties, and I'm just going to switch to somebody else, and that's what I did. I went to the Vortex. It works just as well. It has further range on it, and it has a lifetime warranty on it. I'll pay a little even extra money for having something that has a lifetime warranty. That's just the way the world is now. All my scopes that I buy now have lifetime warranties on them. I have a GPO, I have a Zeiss, and I have a Burris. Everything has that kind of warranty, and the Vortex as well. It's just worth it for me, the extra money. If something happens, goes wrong, not your fault, and you just get replaced. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I've done. Complaining again? Let me show you what I got down here. A beautiful day. Kind of thinking stuff would come out of that left and go down to the right. Usually the deer like to bed in high ground, and then they'll go eating stuff in the low. And with this warmer weather, I don't know if a whole lot of air and it's going to be moving much, but it's supposed to be around 40 today. It was, I think, around 20 this morning. I was going to go way up out in KI this morning, but it was snowing at our house this morning, so I didn't dare go up through that icy roads with that tiny bit of fresh snow on the road. So I decided to come here. It was closer by about 15 miles. So we'll see what happens today here. Hey, again, I want to thank whoever sent me this wool blanket. It is helping tremendously. It came from Midway, USA. I do not know who sent it. I greatly appreciate it. It's working great for me. It's comfortable, keeping my legs warmer. I got my pants here, holding that rifle up. Binoculars are here as usual. Laser rangefinders under the hat. I already ranged this. My farthest range out here is about 150, 160 yards for shooting. It's not too bad. GoPro out, just in case something's out there. The GoPro, I always have it out because it has a quick one-touch button on there and it starts recording, as opposed to like my phone here. If I want to record this, I'll have to scroll to the camera, hit the camera button, and then hit the record. It just takes a lot more time. The rifle's right there, GoPro's right there. Just sneakily put that on, boom, I'm ready to go. And if I have time, I definitely want to put this phone camera on it as well and put it onto this mount right here, because this camera seems to take much better photos, even better photos than that GoPro. And the GoPro, if you try and zoom in once, so try and zoom in on it, just starts pixelating too quickly. So, but it is good for having something instead of nothing. So that's my show for today. I also want to thank again Steve from down in Hendersonville, North Carolina. I got those sole things on my braces again, and in my heavy socks. Those are the best heavy socks I've ever had. I appreciate that. They go all the way up to my knee, which I need because I have these cold plastic braces on, and that protects my legs from that cold plastic. So thank you again, Steve. And he sent me a check for some gas, and I've also had a lot of people sending me money for gas, but YouTubers seem to cut me short at the knees with the money paying again for some reason. I don't know what's going on with that, but we'll see. See what happens here today. Well, that's the first time I've ever had that happen. A couple of vehicles was driving by, and they stopped and said, "I know you. You're on YouTube, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah, I am." So we live right down the road from you on Parsons Landing Road. I said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." So they had a gentleman with his two sons. I believe they were his sons, and they come out and shook my hand, and they wanted to have a picture with me, so they took a picture. So, yeah, I feel kind of strange because I don't feel like I'm a famous person, but that was cool. It kind of brightens up the day a little bit anyway. Not a whole lot being seen here. They're kind of all worried about ruining my hunt and everything. I said, well, there's plenty of road back there. I don't own the planet. Go right ahead and hunt out there. I've seen plenty of times where a vehicle drives by and then a deer goes right across the road right afterwards. Deer, birds, partridge, moose, everything. It's the middle of the day. It's not that big a deal. It's 10:30. So I don't like it when somebody's driving out here, the last hour of daylight when you're trying to hunt. You think everybody would be planted somewhere hoping that something would show up. And, on a main road, I can understand some people like to drive too, but if you're off of a side road that's a dead end, that kind of irks me. If you're trying to sit there and be quiet for the last hour of daylight and somebody drives through. But on this road, I expect people to drive by. I'm on the main part of it. It's a side road, but it's a main part of a side road, so not much I can do. I've seen deer cross right behind a vehicle going by. I've seen it before. So, sometimes the deer just wait for that vehicle to go by. And I feel like sometimes that gives me an edge because the vehicle heard me come in here and park, and then they see a vehicle go by. Maybe they thought that was me, and they got a chance to go. I don't know. Who knows? You never know. You're in the woods. This is a big woods, so deer slowly move around anyway. So it's cool to meet some people anyway that watch my channel. I appreciate that. Thank you. See what we get. Sitting in waiting. I haven't seen anything moving. I'm kind of curious. I'm trying to think about what's going on. Lately I've been, the doses I've seen more deer right at the beginning of the season, beginning of November. And a lot of the does had very small young ones. So I'm assuming there was a late drop. So with that in account, does that mean that the rut's going to be late? Because I haven't seen a lot of movement now. There was a lot of movement in, like the first week. So I don't know, maybe there was a rut early? But I don't know. You would think with a late drop with those deer, with those young ones, there'd be a late rut. So maybe it won't be till the end of this month. This is the last week of the month. This is Thanksgiving week. So then you got muzzleloader season in December, first 2 weeks of December. So I don't know, is there going to be is it the first rut start in December this year, or is it the second rut? Something's going on, because there's not a lot of deer moving. I'm not even seeing a lot of tracks, fresh tracks all over the place like you normally, like I have in the past, I should say, especially in these areas. But we are, into a slightly mild. I mean, it gets up to around 40 during the day, high teens, low 20s at night. So I don't know. I'm just trying to wrap my head around seeing these young deer, small deer, they're half the size of the mother. I mean, I've had some on video showing you, coming at nighttime, those little ones. So I don't know what's going on. Something's just out of whack this year, I think. That drought may have caused some issues with certain vegetation not growing or not being water in a lot of areas. Even here, the food pantry saying there's a lot of deer showing up there early already. And they say there's enough food in the woods for them, but they're not allowed to feed the deer till I think it's December 15th, right after deer season's over. So something's up with this year. It's not a typical year. It's not the same movement. Like I said, you saw in my videos, I was getting a lot of movement the first few days out here, first week of deer season. But it's been a lot less. I mean, I was way out. My brother said there's all kinds of action, all kinds of tracks and stuff, but I didn't see anything. And I sat for 2 days, and one spot was 550 yards, another one was 350. Normally you'd see something cross a road anyway. So, I don't know. Everything's a little off, I guess. People were saying that too. Some people, I guess, on Facebook were saying that they don't think the rut happened this year and all that stuff. So, I don't know. Something's kind of odd. I don't know. Just thinking, it's one thing you certainly do a lot of while you're hunting. You got a lot of time to yourself and quiet. So you just thinking about all kinds of things, thinking what's going on in your life, thinking what you want to do in your life, thinking about all kinds of strategies for hunting and what's gone on while you're hunted. All kinds of things. I'm thinking about what I'm going to do at camp this year, next year. It's just something I'm thinking about. Let me know that. You guys know if you guys have any opinions on that stuff in the comments. I'd appreciate it. Hear what you guys think in your section of the woods, so to speak. Well, that truck went by a while ago. They haven't come back. Well, and I heard a shot way out there, so I don't know. Hopefully that was them. Maybe they got something out there. Gentleman with 2 young boys. It's great to see somebody raising some boys and bringing them out hunting. Well, shall we get out of here? Seen a lot of red squirrels. That's about all I've seen today so far. Every year I've come out here, there's been crossing right here, a couple of different spots. So I'm sitting here. There are tracks down there too, but they're older in the snow. I feel like it's just a matter of time, somewhere, to sit long enough. Well, I just had a very rare incident happen. That vehicle went by. It was just a woman driving hunting. I don't mean to sound, racist. Not racist. I don't mean to sound sexist, but yeah, I don't mean to sound sexist, but I don't ever that's the first time I've seen a woman drive by hunting by herself. Usually you see a woman in the passenger side with an older man riding together, but it's nice. I love to see. I mean, I know there's a Maine girl outdoors and a girl from Maine. They both hunt. They're rare. I like. It's great to see women out here hunting. And just saw one go by, driving herself a Toyota Tundra, nice green one. That's awesome. Wish everybody the best of luck today. It's got a little bit of a breeze kicking up now. I feel like it's fairly warm out. Haven't had the super cold weather though we normally get so far, so I don't know what's going on. It's one of those years. But yep, I just had my lunch. My one peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But keeping an eye on this spot. I'm gonna just stay for the day, just to say trying to weed out spots by sitting in them the whole day, giving them a fair shake, so to speak. But we'll see what happens. Give you some footage where I am. Well, down to the last 2 hours. Had 2 vehicles go by. The woman in the truck went back through, and a truck from New Hampshire went back through. The gentleman with the 2 kids still up in there somewhere, an SUV. So I haven't had anything come out here yet, but I'm staying for the rest of the day. I only got 2 hours left now already. I feel like this day went by so fast. Well, I'll give you a shout out when I get out here. Still going the same direction towards me and my face here, so my wind should be good down there. Well, look at that. It's a fellow hunter walking that way. He came down this hill and walked up next to me and he goes, "I know you." What the heck is today happening to? It's another one of these strange days. He goes, "You got a YouTube channel, right?" I said, "Yeah." Yeah, I guess he said his girlfriend drove up this way and said somebody was in a vehicle. And he said, "That's allowed." And he goes, "I think I might know who that is." So that woman I saw go by in a truck, I was impressed with finally seeing a woman in a vehicle by herself hunting. That's actually his girlfriend. She dropped him way off down there, and he's walked all through the woods all around this big swamp that I'm watching the edge of, hunting. So he said he's not seen anything, though. But walking like that, it could be pushing things, or they could be just hunkering down and not budging, because it's kind of warm out today. I'm sure if they're starting to get their winter coats on, they're not going to be moving much. They don't want to get hot. So I'm hoping at the end of the day, maybe they'll start cruising a little bit. But I am surprised about the rut. I don't see a lot of rut sign, a lot of movement and a lot of tracks everywhere. So maybe it's the tending phase now where they've got their mate and they're just hanging out with her until she's ready. I don't know. I can't remember what that phase was called, but I don't know. There's just so much woods out here. It's hard to really pin them down, actually, A lot of woods and not many people. And you see, if you look at some of these aerial photographs, you got one little road going meandering through, which I'm on, and then there's a mile of woods over here and a mile of woods over there. So the chances of being right at the right place at the right time is pretty slim, but still fun trying, right? I enjoy it. Been a mild day. It's clouds come in, then the sun spots out, and the clouds come in, then the sun comes out again. So, been watching some great, red squirrels. Been a lot of red squirrels around here, but that's about it. I haven't really seen a lot of birds today. Well, I guess it's my fan day. I've had quite a few people stop and say hello, and they recognize me, and well, that's cool, I guess. Oh well, I've got a little bit more than an hour now. See what happens. I'm hoping something comes out on that left-hand side that'll give me enough time to get the camera up and on and keep an eye on it, but from this distance, it doesn't look too bad. But when you start looking with a binocular and stuff, you can see there's a lot of little branches and trees, those little alders and stuff that got branches that'll get in the way, so you gotta be really careful about that when you're shooting at ranges like this. Just takes one stupid little tiny branch to ruin a whole shot or injure a deer. I don't want to do either. Well, I want to injure it terminally. I don't want to wound it and have it run off somewhere. Keep trying. Well, there goes the SUV with the two kids and the gentleman who live not too far away from me. They stopped and wish me luck and handed me $40 cash for gasoline. I don't. One of these days, I had a couple of weeks back there, I had all that excitement with all of a sudden seeing deer everywhere for one day. No big bucks to shoot, but I saw a lot of deer. Let me turn this around. Yeah, like I was saying, a couple weeks ago I had a good day where I seen a lot of deer, does mostly, and that young spike horn, and also the 4-pointer. You know, I'm looking for a bigger deer this year, but I was lucked out on that. But today has been my fan appreciation day, I guess, or something. I see a lot of people who recognize me from the channel. That SUV that just went by, Chevrolet Suburban, I think it was, or Yukon. They just gave me some money for gasoline. Said, here, we love your channel, we watch it all the time, and here's some gas money for you. Thank you very much. Sadly, I can't remember their names. Everything was just happening in a blur, and my brain doesn't remember anything in a blur. But I really appreciate it. Thank you. And I wish you guys the best of luck. And down to the last hour or so now. Surprised they didn't stay till dark, but maybe they had to go somewhere. I don't know. I'm going to keep going till the end of daylight here and see what happens. Hey everybody. No luck again. Wasn't even anything out here. I mean, squirrels, red squirrels, all kinds of those. I mean, this is the most red squirrels I've seen anywhere, actually. Watch this thing here. Get this. That's the seat moves again. Thank God. Tell you what, that saved me. That was a big help. Being able to recline that seat back. Oh, what a difference that makes. Could stretch out a little bit more and have a little bit more room and be more comfortable. That was a lifesaver for sure. I need to say thank you to all my fans. Kind of humbles me to have people just come up to you from nowhere and say they love the channel and love watching what I do and keep up the good work and stuff like that. It really at least makes me have a little bit of motivation. Feels like, somebody's actually paying attention. I see a lot of other people with a lot more subscribers, and it just feels like I'm struggling and just not getting there. But it feels good to have some people recognize you and say hi and what they've been doing lately. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you very much. I don't know what's up with YouTube ripping me off like they Every other time I've ever gotten paid from them, I go see my estimated revenue, and usually it's a little bit more than that when I get the check, because it's a day or two later. So estimated revenue is just estimated, so when you get the check, it's usually a little bit more, and it it just shows up in your account, and I see what the deposit was. This morning, it was insulting, to say the least. They had maybe a quarter, maybe closer to a quarter than a third of what my estimated revenue was, is what they paid me. So I don't know why 3/4 of the money I did not get paid. So I'm going to start telling you all I don't know what's going on. And instead of donating by that little heart thing where it has donations, because I can't get that money till they want to pay me. And I swear, I think that's all I got was what people donated. I didn't get any of my revenue from views. So if you want to donate to me in a way that I can use the money when I need the money, which is during the season. I mean, now that you get paid, it's 3/4 of the season's over now. And now I have to wait till the 21st of December at the very least to get the estimated revenue that's in there. And it's this morning, last night I checked it. All right, I'm just going to flat out tell you. Last night I checked it, and there was $755 in there, estimated revenue. So I checked it this morning, and it was $765. So it went up $10. And then I checked my bank account, and it said YouTube deposited $161 into my account. So this is the first time I've ever gotten freaking screwed by YouTube like this. They've always put into my account what was it estimated revenue. So I have no idea what's going on. And I had taken money again from my from my savings account for my property taxes, paying attention to the revenue, estimated revenue in my account, saying, yeah, I'll get it back when they give me my check. And they have not. Maybe they'll give it to me in December. Maybe they're hoping that by December 21st, whenever my revenue will drop, because less people be watching the channel as usual. Usually after deer season's over, drops off like a cliff. And maybe that's what they're betting on. I don't know. That's what they do. They wait. It's frustrating. It's aggravatingly frustrating. Anyway, I'm sorry for complaining. It's just I try and just get knocked a peg down everywhere I try and go. Years ago, I tried to get into drones, and right when I started looking into it, all of a sudden they passed all these laws with the drones where you had to get a pilot's license practically, and all this other stuff, and pay $200 for a license every 3 years, and all this other, and register the drones now, and there's weight limits on them, and there's all kinds of places you can't fly them now. So I was gonna try and get into that, but they just choked me right out of that. And before that, I took a gunsmithing course, and I was gonna open up my own shop. So I took the course, got past all that, and then they said that now they want you regulations. Before you could you sell guns right out of your home. You can't do that anymore. Now you have to have its own building. You have to have its own entrance and exit and all this other crap. I can't afford to do that. I mean, a disabled person or an elderly person who's just trying to make ends meet or trying to make a little extra money, they're choking them to death. You have no way to do it. I try, I'm looking for ways to make a little bit extra money. So now this YouTube, I'm trying to do the YouTube. And they're strangling me once again. The government just does not want you to get ahead at all. No way. Every way they can, they're cutting your knees right off so you can't take another step. Extremely frustrating. Well, that's my spiel for tonight. I'm heading on out of here. I'll get you some video if I see anything out of here.